Ladies and gentlemen, this video is going to give you a short intro to nuclear energy and geothermal energy. Nuclear energy is the energy stored in the nucleus of an atom, and geothermal energy is energy stored in Earth's crust or core. There are actually two forms of nuclear energy, or two ways that nuclear energy can be released. Nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Nuclear fission is the process that occurs within nuclear power plants. So that's what you'll be researching if you do your mini research, when you do your mini research. Nuclear fusion is the process that occurs within the sun and stars that fuses small atoms together to form larger atoms. The first step is always hydrogen atoms that fuse to form helium, but we'll learn in a later unit that molecules can form all the way up to iron within the center of stars, which is pretty cool. But for now, you want to focus on nuclear fission as the process that's used within nuclear power plants to release nuclear energy for our energy sources unit. So let's think a little bit about, well, how does that energy exist within the nucleus of an atom? I'm sure you remember this, that like charges repel each other and opposite charges attract. That's something that you've known for a long time. However, look at this. This is a carbon atom. We know it's a carbon atom because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 protons in the nucleus. Only a carbon atom will have 6 protons in the nucleus. If like charges are supposed to repel, then why does this nucleus of this carbon atom stay together? It's because of the nuclear bonds. What you know about like charges says that this should fly apart, and it doesn't, because those nuclear bonds are so strong that they can hold these two protons that both have a positive charge close together. Whenever we're able to split those atoms apart in a nuclear power plant, that's whenever the energy from the bonds that are holding that nucleus together are released. So nuclear energy, that's it in a nutshell. The other energy source you're going to look at today is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the energy that's stored in the form of heat within the Earth's surface. It's interesting to note that the heat that's deep within the Earth's core is from the decay of radioactive isotopes, which is essentially a form of nuclear energy. So geothermal energy and nuclear energy are good energies to look at on the same day because they essentially stem from the same sort of process. However, with the geothermal energy, that process that's occurring deep in the Earth's core is not something that we notice on the Earth's surface directly, unless you happen to be in a place like Yellowstone. So let's look at some of the ways geothermal energy can be different. There are shallow geothermal energy sources and deep geothermal energy wells. Shallow sources of geothermal energy include things like heat pumps that you could have in your backyard that access the constant temperature of the Earth of about 55 degrees within the first 12 meters or so of the Earth's surface. So that's one kind of geothermal energy. Typically, however, when we talk about geothermal energy, we're talking about the geothermal energy of the extreme heat that's within the Earth's mantle due to the liquid core. So deep geothermal energy and deep wells accesses that. There are places like Yellowstone where the Earth's crust is really thin, so these deep geothermal wells that reach these extremely high temperatures, those can start approaching the surface because the Earth's crust is so thin. So make sure that if you choose to research geothermal energy, that you make a distinction between whether or not you are researching shallow geothermal energy like heat pumps or deep well geothermal energies like the one that you see here.